Here's the question for the day. What's a good landing spot for Josh Barnett following his release from the UFC? Your choices are Bellator, PFL, Ryzen, or just pro wrestling. John?
I'm sitting on the fence between two. I would say either Ryzen or pro wrestling. I mean, maybe you could do both. You know what I mean? That's what I think I like about the freedom of being able to do that. I feel like his star power is almost greater in Japan, and plus the variety of matchups. I mean, they get to have so much fun with whatever they do. I mean, that's not necessarily about championships or competitiveness. You know, it's just about drawing power. And of course, he's got the extensive background in pro wrestling as well. And hell, you could probably do a wrestling match in Ryzen. I mean, they'll do all kinds of stuff. They have fun with their rules. So, yeah, can I go see Andy?
Sure.
All right.
Goes?
He said it perfectly. I thought Ryzen was the first thing that popped into my mind because he can do both there. And Josh has always been that type of guy that likes to do things his way. And I think Ryzen would more cater to that than some of the other options.
I heard Bellator pays well, and with them is still in the process of establishing their champion. I don't know. I don't know if he would have the competitive juices to go in there, maybe give them 18 months and then boom, bounce and finish. I would say pro wrestling.
Grand Prix alternate?
I think he'd be great for it. Yeah. I think he'd be great for pro wrestling if he could have the type of schedule like what we're seeing out of Ronda maybe, or especially more specifically Brock. Hey, call me for the big show. SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I'm there, you know, occasional spot, but for the most part he's on his farm in Canada, because I mean this guy is 40 years old, and to be on that grinding, grueling schedule that pro wrestling has, I don't think that's for Josh. He's got a good commentating gig. He needs to be a spot guy that can do his thing. So, because I'm thinking, you know, WWE, but he has wrestled in Japan. He has fought in Japan. So those are great options. But I'm just going to go with Bellator. I think he can give them, like I say, a quality 4 fights maybe over 18 months. How about you, Dan?
Man, you guys nailed it. I wanted to go initially with Ryzen, with the whole Japan angle, you know, with the pro wrestling angle. I say take your money and run, Josh. You've done enough. But if this is an MMA show and he is an MMA fighter and he has had championship aspirations, even though he's earned championships, but, you know, to get back to that level before, if he still feels that way, then out of these options, I'm with you, George. I will say Bellator. I think he's still got flexibility to do his other spots. You know, Bellator lets guys do kickboxing. They let other guys do commentary other places. I think they can work something out there. There's enough tantalizing matches. Maybe, you know, Bellator likes redoing the Pride matchups. We've got a Mirko Krokop over there. Let's run that one back. I mean, there are things they can do with Barnett there that are fun and probably worth his while. I'll say Bellator.
Hey, did we miss it or something? I know the clock's ticking. We like to do these in 2 or 3 minutes, but hang on a second. With PFL, you know, we had Sean Jordan, unfortunately, not making weight. So you got guys with some 0 points, and with Josh Copeland just telling us that, hey,
in and chase a million.
A couple guys may not be cleared for the next round. Could he just automatically now step in? Will there be any his release? Will it be immediate where he can go somewhere else? Is he in shape? PFL should have got a little bit more love because there's a huge pot of gold at the end of the
I was told actually yesterday by a UFC official that he was granted his full release. I know Brett Okamoto came out with a piece that said they're still working on it or whatever, but I was told he was granted full unconditional release. Go sign wherever you want. So he can sign wherever he wants from what I was told by a UFC official. But you know what, man? I mean, he's got to make pretty close to $1 million anyway, right? I mean, he's got to be a guaranteed several $100,000 guy, right? So would he even want to like risk that to get it when? I kind of do like the idea of him jumping in as like an alternate in the Grand Prix for Bellator.
Yeah.
But I feel like
got choices.
I feel like he would be expensive for Bellator. You know what I mean? And I feel like his star power is almost greater in Japan. That's why I feel like everybody wins if he goes to Japan.
Over 1,000 of you voted, and 60% actually said Bellator, 4% said PFL, 20% to Ryzen, 16% to pro wrestling. So there you have it. There's today's daily debate brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team.